everyone, it's Katie from Paradise Falls family. In this video we'll be talking you through our recent short trip to London in October 2022. We've been to London many times over the years and the kids are now at an age where they enjoy all the exciting things it has to offer. They were 9 and 6 when we did this trip over half term. In the past we've tried to get down to London for a day or two each year, and this year we were fortunate enough to spend 3 nights in and around London. There's so much to do there for the whole family, and we'll talk you through some of our top activities in another vlog, but in this video we're going to go through our most recent trip. On our first day we went into the centre of London to have afternoon tea at the One Aldwych Hotel near Covent Garden. We stayed with family in Leicester, so we're only a few hours north of the city, and decided to drive down and park in the city centre. We found an NCP in Covent Garden which cost £30 for the day, and along with the congestion charge of £15 which we paid online, brought the total cost to £45. Not cheap, but we decided it was better than getting a train in or by parking outside the city and getting the tube in. We started with a wander around Leicester Square, where the kids always love spotting the statues and stopping by the M&M and Lego stores. After spending some pocket money, we worked our way back to Covent Garden, stopping to watch some of the street entertainers. It was then time for our afternoon tea, which we'd specifically picked because it was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory themed. There are so many places offering afternoon tea in London, and to be honest, our first choice was at the Shard, which had a Peter Pan themed afternoon tea. However, their website makes it really clear that they don't offer gluten-free options, so we went for this one instead. We really weren't disappointed with this choice, as the service, food and theming were all exceptional. The kids had an amazing time. Finley said it was the best meal he'd ever had, and the staff were lovely with them, bringing them extras of their favourite treats like the candy floss. It wasn't a cheap meal, it was around £200 for a family of 4 including tip, but it was a lovely half-term treat for us all that we'd highly recommend. Afterwards, we strolled down to the embankment to hop onto the tube to Oxford Circus to visit the Disney store to spend some vouchers we had left from Christmas. Again, the kids had a great time spending their vouchers, but afterwards we got caught in a torrential downpour. We hopped on the tube to Holborn, which was right by the NCP where we'd parked our car. We were absolutely soaked through and decided to call it a day and headed out to our hotel in Shepperton. We were originally intending to stay with friends that night, but we had to change our plans at short notice. We found a really decent deal at the Holiday Inn Shepperton to the west of London for about £120 for the night. The drive took longer than expected because of the traffic getting out of London, around 90 minutes in the end, so we just had enough time to have tea in the hotel before getting the kids to bed. The hotel had an offer on where kids ate free with a paying adult, so the meal was really great value. The hotel itself was nice and the room comfortable, except for the sofa bed, which actually did fall apart a couple of times. You could tell they were woefully understaffed, and the staff clearly tried their best to provide a good level of service, and in the end we had a comfortable stay. The hotel also had an indoor pool, which was the major draw when booking this hotel. We tried to use it the next morning, but unfortunately it was being used for a class, so we had to return later in the day. So after a bit of a lazy morning, we set off for Hampton Court Palace, which is only a 15-minute drive away from Shepperton, and the main reason we decided to pick that hotel. Hampton Court Palace has been on our wish list for a while, and we decided we'd finally make the trip out here. It's famous for, among other things, being the home of Henry VIII and his 6 wives, and so with the kids being really into the musical Six, based around the wives, we thought now was the time to go. And who doesn't love the Tudors? We booked our tickets a few days beforehand, which came to just over £70 for a family of 4, which we thought was pretty reasonable and proved to be really good value for what was a lovely day. Because it was the run up to Halloween, there were loads of extra spooky activities on offer, such as ghost stories, potion making and extra spooky effects and decorations. They really played up on the fact that the palace is supposedly haunted, although it was all done in a really family friendly way, and it added to the fun.
But Moses, the witch in his face, translated this to palace. Oh, this is fine, but I think this time. Really? Or something else?
We spent a good few hours exploring the palace, which was really fascinating, and the kids really enjoyed all of the extra activities. Then we headed outside to explore the grounds, which were beautiful. There was also horse and carriage rides on offer for an extra charge. We hadn't planned ahead and brought a picnic with us, so we stopped for lunch in the cafe, which came to around £40 for us all, so not too bad. Finally, we ended our visit with the maze, which was surprisingly difficult. The kids loved taking the lead and literally walked us around in circles, but we made it to the middle eventually. After a great time at the palace, we headed back to the hotel to let the kids finally have their swim, and then we headed off to our second hotel of the trip. This time a Holiday Inn Express at the Excel on London Docklands. We'd booked a standard room with a sofa bed for £107 a night. In the past we've stayed right in the centre of London, but we found prices have really skyrocketed, so this seemed reasonably priced. It's also on the DLR line, which runs straight through the city, so easy enough to get in and out. The drive around London was a bit gruelling and took a couple of hours with really heavy traffic. We ended up grabbing a Burger King for tea at a service station. Once at the hotel, we were able to park easily for £16 a night. We got checked into our room and then we went to sleep for an early night. Our hotel booking came with free breakfast, so we gave this a try in the morning. The food was okay, but the restaurant was chaos, so we made it a quick stop before we headed out for the day. We'd planned to walk along the waterfront but couldn't because of building work, so we ended up walking right through the middle of the Excel Centre. A short distance past the other end is the IFS Cloud cable car, which takes you across the water to the O2 Arena. This cost £30 for a return trip for a family of 4, probably a little more than we were expecting. If you do give this a try, we'd suggest giving yourselves plenty of time, as we stood in what looked like a relatively short queue but actually took around 45 minutes. The cable cars themselves come really regularly, but a lot of people stay on for a round trip, so the queue moves a lot slower than you expect. Once up there, the views are great, and it was nice to give it a try finally, having seen it many times before when we've been at the O2 Arena. Due to the delay in crossing, we didn't have much time at the arena, just long enough to grab lunch at Wagamama's and then jump on the cable car back across the water. We'd booked tickets for the Jurassic World Exhibition at the Excel Centre, and although we were a little early, they still let us in. This set us back just under £80 for the 4 of us. We spent a good hour touring the exhibition, which is a walk-through, self-guided exhibit with various animatronics, sets and interactive exhibits. We all enjoyed this, and some of the sets were really impressive. However, having visited Universal Studios in the past, a good proportion of this seemed to be really similar to what you see in the parks, so it was not particularly new for us. However, the last couple of scenes were really good, and it capped off what was a really fun visit. For our final evening in London, we had tickets to see the show 6 at the Vaudeville Theatre on the Strand. We jumped on the DL line to London and spent some time wandering around the Tower of London area, then on to Covent Garden. We had a lovely tea at the Alchemist there. This is actually one of the kids' favourite places to eat at the moment, as they have a great range of kids' meals available. After watching some more of the street performers, it was time for the show. We all had a wonderful time and thought the show was brilliant, so much so that we've booked tickets for the tour in Manchester next year. It's a real high energy show with some great songs, and the cast we saw were absolutely superb. afterwards it was really easy to get back to the hotel on the tube and the DLR. We'd intentionally kept our final day pretty open, conscious that the kids would probably be really tired at this point. It worked out well in the end as we made plans to see friends in the afternoon before our drive home. We were able to have a lazy morning and slowly pack, and we still had time to pop over to Canary Wharf on the DLR for breakfast. This is somewhere that I've been many times with work, but we've never been together, so it was fun exploring a new place and doing a bit of shopping before meeting up with our friends. So that's our mini trip to London. We hope this was useful if you're planning a trip, and if you've got any questions or other tips then please let us know in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you'd like to see more of our trips. Thank you so much for watching.